25 of Trev TV. Yeah, I know. Fair better show this channel some love too, since I'm going pretty hard on the hockey channel and the wrestling channel. But anyway, I'm the Trev. You know that. If you're tuning in, if you're watching, it's too sweet. It's probably the fastest I've ever done an intro. Anyway, talking history today. And it's not because it's the 33rd anniversary of the first Transformers movie release. I could have done one on that, but I figured let's do something a little more random, a little something that nobody would expect out of the Trev. Little known tidbit. Trev is a Beatles fan. I know not everybody knows that. My inner circle, if you want to call it that, the people who are that close to Trev know that. But anyway, on the topic of the Beatles, this picture, this one here, which has been all the rage in England today, is 50 years old as of today, August the 8th. If you don't know, or if you're too young to know, this is iconic, but it's also the cover of their Abbey Road album, which a lot of people will say was their last album, myself included. No, a lot of people will say, well, no, Let It Be was their last album. No. Let It Be was recorded during the Abbey Road sessions. It just happened to be, I like to call it the compilation album that sent fans into grieving, if you want to call it that. But let's talk about the picture. So the picture was taken by a Scottish man named Ian McMillan, who was born in 1938 and who passed away in 2006. McMillan met Lennon through Yoko Ono. If you remember, Yoko Ono met John Lennon November 9th, 1966 in an art gallery. And later on, Yoko introduced Lennon to McMillan. In 1969, John Lennon invited McMillan to photograph the Abbey Road cover. Now, since the Beatles recorded most of their music at EMI Studios, it was EMI Studios until 1970, when it became known as Abbey Road Studios, at St. John's Wood, London. And they decided to name their last album after that road. Why not, right? They made the street famous. You know, it goes without saying. Before the photography session took place, Paul McCartney gave McMillan a rough sketch of what the picture should look like, or what he wanted it to look like. McMillan added his own little sketch in the top corner just so he could confirm the layout, really. So on August 8th, 50 years ago, around 11:30 in the morning, McMillan placed a step ladder about 10 feet in the air in the middle of the road and took 6 pictures, 6 different pictures of them going one way or the other, or the other, or the other. Now, of course, obviously, crowd control was in effect. They had a policeman there to watch over everything, you know, just to close down the street, make sure nobody was getting in where they shouldn't have. And it was odd for the timing because usually the Beatles came to the studio around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. But they chose the early hour, mostly to avoid fans, and B, probably just to get out of the way quick. Of the 6 photos taken, and you can look online for the other 5, of the 6, the 5th was used. And there was different reasons why 1 through 4 and number 6 were omitted. I'm not going to go into them. You can check that out for yourself. But the 5th one was used. It was more or less just timing, you know, the way they could get the feet perfectly, and that was basically to show that they hadn't really missed too many steps, or there was a nice little configuration. Of course, Paul's in bare feet, and the only one with a cigarette, but that's beside the point. That's actually for a different theory, which we will get into. And of course, there's the Beatle. Come on, focus. The Beatle by George Harrison. That'll come in handy too. But anyway, the long-term effects of this photo, or at least in pop culture as it was concerned. I mentioned EMI Studios was renamed Abbey Road Studios because of that in 1970. The building was granted English Heritage Grade 2 listing on February 23rd, 2010. And the zebra crossing, or the crosswalk as we know it in North America, got the same grading on December 21st, 2010. So, Abbey Road Studios and the crosswalk itself are a part of English heritage history. How about that? That's pretty awesome. Let's go into my favorite part of this, which will blow your mind. So this is before Abbey Road. After Strawberry Fields Forever came out, and it was discovered by somebody who had way too much time on their hands, if you play the ending of the song backwards, Lennon is saying, "I buried Paul." Apparently, according to Lennon, he was saying cranberry sauce. But who knew anyway? Anyway, the theory was that the real Paul McCartney was dead. This picture is supposed to be a representation of such. And I'll explain. It's supposed to be a significance that John Lennon is dressed as the heavenly figure. You know, the guy who gave him his rights. Ringo is the Undertaker. Paul is the corpse, which explains why he's not wearing shoes and having a smoke. And George is the gravedigger. Further evidence is in the Beatle. I don't know if I can zoom it in. I don't know who figured this one out. I don't know if I'm even going to figure this one out myself. But the license plate on the Beatle says 28IF. That would have been Paul's age if he was still alive. 28 if. And it was kind of misinterpreted too, that because McCartney is left-handed, he was holding the cigarette with his right. Now, whoever thought up all that out of one picture, oh my goodness, your imagination is something to be desired. Like, oh, I would just love 20 minutes in your head to see what I can come up with on top of what you've come up with. It would just be interesting. But anyway, if you believe the Paul is dead rumor, good for you. I just believe that whoever is Paul McCartney at this point in time is probably a very rich and happy man. So, can't be too bummed about that, can you? And of course, today being the 50th anniversary of it, everybody in London, everybody and their kids and their dogs and their parents and their grandparents were all crossing the road trying to get their own picture of it. And apparently, it shut the road down. It was so hectic and so full of people that it almost caused a hysteria. Of all the places you'd want to be on a day like today, and you're not there, that would have been something, I think, anyway. If you were there, let me know how it was. I'd love to know a first-hand account of that whole experience. That was episode 25 of Trev TV. Yeah, it's a short and sweet video, but you know what? I figured I'd at least give the main channel some content too, like I said in the beginning, because I'm going hard on my other two channels. Can't neglect this one. But if you like this video, hit that thumbs up. You really want to help Trev TV get to 50 subs by pushing that sub button. I forget which corner it is, so I'm just going to point at them both. Hit that thing. Stay up to date with all the content I'm putting out. If you want to, you can find Trev TV on Facebook at Trev's TV. And you can also find Trev TV on Instagram at rockstartrev TV. And if you want to subscribe to my other two channels, here's what you're looking for. So moving forward, as far as the main channel is concerned, I'll come up with something. Hopefully, within the next week or so. Maybe I'll come up with a few somethings. You know, you never know. Sky's the limit. But I guarantee I'll have something on this channel fairly soon. Not as soon as I'll have on the wrestling channel, because I know I'm filming my SummerSlam review, or prediction, sorry, right after I'm done this. And then as for the hockey channel, I got some ideas, mostly trade page related, but either way, I'll have something up on that one eventually within the next week or so. So either way, in the meantime, and in between time, be looking for more videos from Trev. Later.